Hello everyone, welcome to night 2 of the Showdown. We are here once again to round out the tournament. An epic night of action lies in front of us with some hell of an epic bouts, including 4 league finals and then 2 grand finals for the men and the women to compete in. We've got an epic show to start off. Well, to round out tonight's action, we might as well go through the currently known matches, the schedule card for that. Starting with Kenny Omega and The Rock, our Green League clash. The winner is obviously champion of their league. From there, the Gold League on full display as Nia Jax and Liv Morgan go out to fight. After that, we will know our 2 women from each division fighting off against one another as Fallon Henley and Io Sky battle for the last spot in the women's Showdown final. And lastly, Roman Reigns and Will Ospreay will be fighting for the last men's spot. After that, there'll probably be a 5-minute break between battles just to get ready for the epicness that will be the 2 grand finals to basically kick off the Showdown Night 2. Well, to end the Showdown Night 2. But before we get to that, it's time for our opening clash of the evening. Kenny Omega, the cleaner, looking to take down The Rock. Can he do it? Let's find out right now. New lighting, new feel, but the same New York arena for the Showdown.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, weighing in at 224 pounds, Kenny Omega.
The beautiful voice of Alicia Taylor announcing for us tonight as the cleaner makes a bang his shot known. He wants to take down The Rock here tonight, make it to the finals, and just show why he is one of the best to ever do it. Can the cleaner do it? We'll find out. But this bout, set for one fall in the new teal and gold arena after the pink and gold from last night. The women's colors on display. Perhaps it's signifying they're going to be the big matches tonight, but we won't find out until we're halfway through the show as to how everything shapes up. As the cleaner stands ready, it's time for the most electrifying man in all of sports entertainment to make his way out for the second time in 2 days. The crowd behind him as the final boss appears on the stage. Once again, the slow, methodical walk to the ring, executed perfectly by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
And his opponent from Miami, Florida, weighing in at 265 pounds,
Yesterday, Dwayne was pushed to the limits in an epic bout against Seth Rollins that went almost to Rollins' favor, who went all out, landing 3 massive stomps. But it wasn't enough to put away Dwayne, who just survived on pure instinct to make it here tonight, to go up against the cleaner, who had an epic flurry with the demon. Only The Rock got a revenge win yesterday in this men's Green League battle. The cleaner repeated his effects, his efforts against the demon, as he took him down twice in 2 days. Tonight, Kenny and The Rock go toe-to-toe, squaring off in a battle that The Rock won the last time these two faced off. And from my understanding, remembering that, it wasn't even close. Dwayne put down Omega and just gave him nothing. Not even a smidgen or a crumb in that battle. Tonight, Omega's looking to get some revenge. Take out The Rock from this competition. Realistically prove he deserves to be here. The two staring each other down as we get underway. Collar and elbow tie-up to start this one off. Kenny takes the waist control. And this is something that you'd realistically not expect. Dwayne, the powerhouse in this match, realistically expecting to overpower Omega like that. Nice headlock takedown. Just a hip toss to bring down Omega to the mat. Side position, and now some knees coming in from The Rock. Lovely float over offense there from Dwayne. Kenny expect some pace quickening offense in this match, as yesterday against the demon, it went to the high octane pace needed to really battle toe to toe. Tonight, Kenny has to do the exact same thing. Take Rock out of his comfort zone, as we know that this man can absorb pressure, absorb some massive shots. We saw it yesterday. And tonight, Kenny needs to hit The Rock with everything he's got. We didn't see a one-winged angel out of him the last time these two squared off. Kenny, if he can get that maneuver out, will more than likely put away Dwayne. But as these two square off here, Kenny applying pressure to the arm of The Rock. And that looks to be the arm that Dwayne uses for the rock bottom and the people's elbow. So realistically, taking that weapon out of the flurry, out of the foyer of The Rock here, is massive offense if Kenny can utilize it effectively. Now these two are jostling for position. Nice dropkick there. Baited out The Rock's dodge, trying to avoid it. And Kenny just lands flush. Perfect maneuvers by the cleaner. Tries to come through, hitting Rock, misses. Rock now back to vertical base. Starts to send Kenny running. The speed quickening. Nice belly-to-belly toss over the head of The Rock. Cleaner fighting back, pushing away Dwayne. A big V trigger connecting. As Kenny rolls out. May have thought The Rock was going to try and escape instead. Dwayne into the corner. Both of these men, big time stars in IPW now, you have to feel. Kenny had that opportunity in the start of his career in IPW. Going into Conquest, that triple threat, falling short against Seth and Bryan Danielson. And now he's showing his worth, calling a shot up over the V-trigger connect. The big running knee, and Kenny's calling his shot once again. The trigger's been pulled, and now the cleaner hooks up The Rock to his shoulders. Snake eyes in the corner. But going back to the point. Oh my word! Kenny with a super kick busts open The Rock. I'll eventually get to tell my story here, but Omega's just unloading some hefty shots. Dwayne hasn't been able to react. But as I was saying, Kenny had his chance at the title and fell short. He then kind of took a hiatus in IPW, not really competing in anything. Here in this Showdown tournament, he has come back swinging, proving his worth to be in the top contendership in IPW. As for The Rock, this is his first run, really, in IPW. And he is certainly stepping up, to say the least. A near perfect run to the road to the Showdown. Only being broken by Seth Rollins, who he got revenge on last night. Tonight, The Rock's just looking to win this league, win this division, and put away a very game cleaner who's gone for the Dragon Suplex, the Snapdragon into the pin. 2 count here. And The Rock surviving, but Kenny has been dominant as he's lying in wait. Hooks up The Rock onto the electric chair, but The Rock fighting with all his might to get out the back. No one-winged angel just yet, and a bulldog is the response from Dwayne. He's putting down Kenny. And the crowd getting behind him as The Rock bottom connects. The pinfall attempt in, and Dwayne is looking to seal the deal. He can't get it just yet, though. The cleaner still with a lot of energy, but a spine buster puts down Omega. And that usually is reciprocated with the most electrifying move in all of sports entertainment, the People's Elbow. Dropped on the dime. Kenny's in trouble as The Rock puts him away. The first finalist in the Showdown tournament is Dwayne The Rock Johnson. An electrifying battle on display here as he just puts the cleaner down and out. But who will he be facing in the finals? We'll find out after our 2 women's matches. But this match, it had its all. Kenny was in control for the majority of it. But The Rock, just once he gets to the kill point, the final boss in phase 3 just switches on. Finisher spams, signature spams, you call it what you want. He connects with ease. And just the cleaner can't absorb the pressure. The final boss shuts down the one-winged angel. And this was epic. The rock bottom, the spine buster. This was it. The finisher spam inbound as the People's Elbow ended the night for Kenny Omega. An unfortunate ending for him as he expected to do more, but game's game. And the People's Champ ends it.
Here is your winner, The Rock!
Game over for the cleaner as the final boss claims another soul in this tournament. Which, it's a great performance. He's got one more person to take out. We won't find out who it is until later on, but until then, we're switching divisions to the Gold League. The Irresistible Force meets the Revenge Tour for a second time in this tournament. Can Liv Morgan enact revenge over a loss she suffered to Jax earlier on in this tournament? Let's find out right now. The first ever Undisputed Women's World Champ is here.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making her way to the ring from San Diego, California, Nia Jax.
Jax last night put on one hell of a performance. She took out a very game Rhea Ripley. Ripley unable to get really any offense in. Jax crumbled her to death with power bombs. That unstoppable onslaught got Nia to the championship, the Gold League Division Finals.
And her opponent, representing the Judgment Day from Elmwood Park, New Jersey, Liv Morgan.
Morgan has been unstoppable in this tournament. Let's be honest, from game one, she has took it to the best. She has set her sights on winning this entire goddamn thing. There's a lot of tough competition still left in the women's bracket, which we'll discuss in our next match. But these two unsettled scores here in IPW. Who's gonna take the advantage here? As we get underway, Liv has learnt from her last experience, hopefully with Jax, as you cannot, and I repeat, cannot go toe-to-toe in the early goings with Jax without her firing back. You need to break her offense with these strikes. Take her down if you can, and then it becomes a fair game, because Jax cannot resist all of the offense, even if she is an irresistible force. This is what she does. She pushes you off. She will break and cause distance between you. She has basically this resilience in the early goings. And you kind of want to just not take that much damage in this flurry. Now, Jax, we've seen through many a match just get an opponent down and then just destroy them. We see her do it to Rhea yesterday, and this was her game plan. Not allow the opposition to get any offense in, and then just come crashing in like that. As for Liv, she went to war with Chelsea Green. Those two put on one hell of a match. That Liv and Oblivion ending it all for Green, taking her to the finals. Realistically speaking, Liv needs that Oblivion in this match as the lights go out. Tamina's music begins. This was something we saw yesterday as well from Liv, enacting friends to come into the match and interrupt. There's a chair, and it cracks the skull of Nia Jax. Liv Morgan's not taking any chances here. the evidence left in the ring, but Tamina's involvement unclear as two Samoans come toe-to-toe. The chair cracking the skull of Nia, and Liv now in control off the back of that. Surprise entrance there from Tamina. A referee, I would say quite blind as that happened right in front of him, but the match still rolls on. Liv now in control after that distraction. Or that interference more than anything. It wasn't a distraction. She fires up here, but Morgan caught. Roll-up attempt here from Jax. The position reverse as Liv's into the pin. Not even a 1 count yet. There's the one from Jax. Trading position. And the pin ends there. Jax up to her feet first and through with a pounce. Flattens Liv. And the irresistible force is just destroying Morgan. Executioner's leg drop across the back of the neck of Liv, who nips up, avoids the shot. She's coming through. That could have been the powerbomb of doom. She sends Jax running. A drop down and a hip toss. Liv now fighting back. This is what she needs to do against Nia. Put her down and keep her there as she hooks her up for an oblivion. Connecting with the finish. Could this be it? 1 and a 2. But no. Jax still surviving. She's not been sent down to hell just yet. As Liv keeping the pressure on. This is certainly an epic clash already as Liv over the top drives Jax into the canvas. Nia has been shocked as Liv Morgan, as she's done throughout this entire tournament, stepped up and shut up the doubters. Once again, keeping the pressure onto Jax in the corner. Do not give the irresistible force space, because she will come back swinging, fired up, ready to strike. She pulls Liv to her feet, and Liv's going for a ride. The one leg trapped, powerbomb crumples her into the ropes though. Liv, beautiful ring awareness to get to that position. As Jax's offense squandered maybe. The irresistible force keeping the pressure on though. As she comes over, drops the elbow, misses. Liv and Jax slowly back to a vertical base. Liv sending Jax running into the corner. Keeping the pressure on. A scoop and a slam. Great power there from Liv to put down Jax, who's rolling away. Trying to avoid Liv's offense. Liv watching on from the second turnbuckle. Through, connects with the dropkick once Jax approaches. Liv playing this game dirty. Smart offense from Morgan as another scoop and a slam. She puts down Jax for a second time. Is she going tour of the world with this offense? It seems like it, as a code breaker connects the knees to the face of Jax, and she could be in trouble. A near fall in favor of Morgan. Nia, she must be on fumes because Liv is certainly, she is just destroying Jax here in this match. As she no, she's not going to be sending her to oblivion. Jax instead backslide, trying to steal it. 1, 2, no, nearly. As these two stare each other down, oblivion connects. Liv hits it from out of nowhere into the pin. It's not enough just yet. But she's sizing up Jax once again. Morgan has her in her sights. Up and around the world goes Liv. She brings down the irresistible force. This has been just a dissection of Jax since the distraction early on in this match. Nia hasn't been able to get much done. Dragon screw from her could be the turning point she needed. Dead lift, Liv above her head, military press position. And Liv's going for a ride. Up, over, and tossed to the mat. Jax now. Deadlift, powerbomb position. She crumples one leg, stacks her up. This time Liv's in trouble. No rope break to save her. Forced to kick out to survive. Morgan, though, still in trouble as Jax, keeping the pressure on, drags her to the corner. And I think Liv might be in some heck of a trouble. Fights off Jax, gets out the corner. The code breaker connects. Into the pin she goes. Liv looking to win it here. A 2 count and the 3. Morgan slays Jax with her inner Jericho. Oh my word. Simply put, this distraction was the turning point needed for Liv to win. Jax was dominant through all aspects of this match until that point. But Liv then came firing and swinging with heavy offense. The Oblivion, the code breakers, and that was that. Morgan securing a hecky win? One hell of a win against Nia here tonight. Advancing to the Showdown finals against one of 2 women that we're going to find out who it is in a moment's time. But yes, this matchup was epic on a multitude of performances. This was the turning point needed. The code breaker ending the match. Jax had Liv set up presumably for an avalanche Samoan drop.
Here is your winner, Liv Morgan.
But that didn't come into fruition. And instead, what we get is Morgan gracing us with victory here tonight. And she'll be going toe-to-toe with one of these 2 women. 2 women she's not really battled before in IPW. Can Io Sky upset the undisputed Women's World Champ? That's what we are about to find out, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the Teal League on full display. It's Fallon Henley versus Io Sky. The champion out first. Unusual to see. But she's here to set the tone.
Is scheduled for 1 fall, making her way to the ring, representing Fatal Influence from Chelsea, Michigan, the undisputed Women's World Champion, Fallon Henley.
The last remaining champion in this tournament has put it all on the line to make it to the Teal League final. Now stepping up to face the Wub Wubs of Io Sky.
And her opponent, representing Damage Control from Tokyo, Japan, Io Sky.
Sky looking for revenge here tonight. Last time these two squared off, it was Henley who came out victorious, putting down the genius of the Sky. Tonight, Io's looking for that revenge that Morgan just got herself. Can she do it? We know how game Io tends to be in big match situations, but can she put up against the undisputed Women's World Champ? We're about to find out. The crowd behind Io for this one as we get this matchup underway. Spinning uppercut misses, backslide in from Io to start it off then. Not even a 1 count as they stare each other down. Drop kick through from Io. And now a big knee to the skull of Fallon Henley. Both women back to a vertical base. They tie it up here. Io overpowering Henley. A shock, I would say, especially considering the champion. A boot there. No clean break issued here by Fallon, who's just gonna punish you and push you to your limits. It's what she does. She knows how to beat you. She is calculated. She knows what she must do. As yesterday, in her matchup against Natalya, that revenge matchup for Natalya, Fallon just shut up the television champion, proved that she deserved to be here. And we can kind of discuss the fact that Fallon's offense in that match was so calculated. Like, she timed basically when Natalya fired herself up. Once she did that, she just took away that finish and utilized it against Natalya with the sharpshooter applied. It wasn't able to put away Natalya because it was in the ropes, but Henley knows when to utilize her maneuvers when the opponents are exerting so much pressure, getting into control situations against her. She really steps up and shuts them down. As for Io, the 4th seed, upsetting the 1st seed yesterday against Michelle McCool, she just kept on flying and putting down Michelle, who, let's be honest, had one heck of a performance. McCool landed only 1 faith breaker, but even then, Io was flying 3-4 times with that moonsault press, putting away McCool with that. And we sort of touched on it yesterday. Io's been trying to, or reluctantly avoiding her Koji clutch. That finisher that she utilizes effectively early in this tournament to pick up wins as, oh my word, the blood trickling down the champion's face. That'll have to be cleaned up before her finals. But realistically speaking, oh, missile drop kick misses. Io connects. No, she doesn't. It's blocked. Fallon sends her running. Kitchen sink there to Io. But yet, it's interesting because these two don't really share similar offense. I mean, they both can fly. Io more specifically known for high rent district offense. As, well, Fallon just lands a springboard forearm strike to Io to shut her up. Lines her up here. Around, oh my, blockbuster around the corner. What am I at? Why Fallon? She shuts me up. Basically proving that she is a high flyer with that offense. She's going up again. Why not? Looking to execute off Io. Drops the elbow. And Henley lines up Sky. The kick to the knee. It's a hold down. Connecting. And the champion just that dominant. Not able to win just yet. But let's be honest. Io's not been able to get into this one. Henley has been just putting on a show, really. The champ is such a hard woman to beat. And a lot's going to be needed to put her away. Step up enziguri, not going to happen. Not going to work. As Fallon hipped arm drag takedown. Sends Io running. Pop up into the Hurricane Rana there from Io. Takes down the champ. Fallon fights out of it. She's not going to stay down for long. Io is learning just how game Henley is. Irish whip sends the champ running. Pop up into the flapjack. Look at the blood trickling down the face of the champion just past the eye. Io causing that early on into this match. As Henley's really may have just got a bit more angry off the back of that. As she uncorks a combo. Nice maneuver there. Backbreaker into a ripcord lariat. Taking down Sky. Shote from Io. Drops the champ, but the champ doesn't stay down for long. Back to a vertical base as Io. Fighting back, not allowing Henley to set up whatever she was going for. Fuck Buster from Io. Just dropping dropping Henley. She lines her up across on these ropes. And they both go crashing out to the outside. Io putting her own body on the line to put more pressure onto Henley. They return to the ring. Io on the ropes. She's calling for a shot here. Henley getting back up. But Sky not going to keep her down there for long. Up to the high rent district goes Henley. And this is something we've seen Io utilize before in this tournament. It's an avalanche Spanish fly from the top turnbuckle. Connecting onto the champ, and the back is in tatters. She's lining up Henley for something more. And it's the Koji clutch. She's finally going to use it. Locked in deep, but we're getting a view of the ass of the referee because hashtag what great camera work here in IPW. And our referees really know how to get involved, but clearly Sky still firing up to the top rope. Moonsault press misses. Henley avoids. That would have been lights out for the champ who comes through kitchen sink. Into the pin she goes. Looking to just put away Io. Desperation potentially setting in for the champ, who's in danger because Io was just on fire. Sky, though, in the sights of the champ. The famous bus open Io. And the pinfall attempt in 1, 2, 3. No. Frustration setting in for the champ. She thought she'd done it there. Sky so resilient. Staying alive in this tournament. As Henley watching on, setting her up. Strikes coming through. A famouser again. And that's lights out. The champ into the pin. And no. Io is so goddamn resilient. The hoedown and then 2 famouses just absorbed by Sky. Staying alive in all of this. Scoop and a slam puts down Io as Henley calling her shot here. In the corner, springboard. Tries to go blockbuster, can't connect. Io avoids, takes the back of Henley and sends her running into the corner. Io puts her up once more. And I think Fallon's going for a ride here. For a second time in this match. Io hooks her up for a second Spanish fly. Down, both women come crashing into the canvas. Io's not done though. Up top she goes. This time she connects with the moonsault press. The pinfall attempt. And Io, no. A near fall extravaganza we've got on our hands. Io so close. Henley so close to winning. Right now it's Io in control. She lines up the champion. Drags her once again to the corner. Keeping the pressure on. Henley in trouble. Io through. Basement dropkick. All the pressure applied. The pinfall attempt. Henley has to kick out and doesn't. Io Sky shuts down the undisputed women's world champion. Which means no champions remain in this tournament past this round. Our Teal League champ, Io Sky, now has to face Liv Morgan in the grand finals. Oh my word. That was unexpected. Io shut out Henley. As the Wub Wubs play through the arena. Shock is still setting in for me. Because this was one heck of a back and forth battle. Until that very end. Io just landing in the corner with that dropkick. Just clearly must have done some damage to Henley. Concussive maybe. But it was a big shot. And Sky victorious here in this battle.
Here is your winner, Io Sky!
Once again, a great performance by Io. Taking down the champ, and you can see the blood trickling down her face. She knows it was such a great performance. And she deserves the victory here. It's no easy footing to beat the champ. But if you do, good things come to those that can beat the champ. Speaking of beating the champ, it's time to see if Roman Reigns can beat the former undisputed world heavyweight champion Will Ospreay in our Pink League finals. Can't wait to see just how this one will pan out as we get into the action right now.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from England, weighing in at 220 pounds, Will Oxley.
Ospreay is a man on a mission, looking to make history potentially as a winner of the Showdown. He's got to go through The Rock, obviously, as does Roman. And we've got potentially some interesting bouts there. Roman versus The Rock in our finals would be nutty. But Ospreay versus The Rock, that's got new storylines to unfold. As we prepare ourselves for this Pink League finals. I'm still in shock over our Teal League final. But before we know who is facing The Rock, these two have to square off against one another. And the OTC shut down Shawn Michaels last night as a 4th seed looks to take down the 2nd seed. Calculative and dominant The OTC is ready.
From Pensacola, Florida, weighing in at 265 pounds, Roman Reigns!
The head of the table has had no bigger opportunities than this in IPW. He had set the tone for domination in this division. Confidence exuded through every matchup until the very end. The Tribal Chief walked into yesterday as a potential underdog. Tonight, he walks into this Pink League Finals as the big dog. Reigns has set a path of terror in the showdown that was stalled, halted by Michaels. And that man no longer exists in this tournament, eradicated by Reigns. Tonight, Reigns goes up against a man who also beat him. Ospreay shut down Reigns on his kind of moping arc in the road to the showdown. But the Tribal Chief walks into events like this and thinks it's just dinner. He exudes confidence every step of the way. Tonight's the night that both men put up or shut up their chances. Ospreay calling on Roman immediately for the offense. Reigns just staring him down, daggers in his eyes. And Reigns is out of the gates early. Both men trading positions. As Reversal City begins, they tie up finally with a collar and elbow. Ospreay overpowering Reigns in the early trade. They go again. There's a second collar and elbow. Locked in. Ospreay takes wrist control. This is unexpected. The technical prowess on display from Ospreay. Training in the UK against the likes of Zack Sabre Jr. Fighting against Bryan Danielson as well. Ospreay, we know, has the technical background here, I guess you could say, in a match like this. Purely based on training, but the power game always favorable to Roman as he just tosses Ospreay around. And this is where Ospreay does not want to be, is in the grasp of Roman Reigns. The Tribal Chief, we know, just has that level of offense that from the brink of defeat can just lift you up, slam you a bunch of times and just take you out of your game. We've seen him do it many a time. We've seen him snap people in half with that spear. He's looking to do that again here, Roman. There's Ospreay in control. Up. A slingshot across that top rope. Runs the ropes. Big running knee. That was flashy from Ospreay as a pinfall attempt inbound. He gets a one. Roman staying in it. Springboard springboard shooting star press from Ospreay as the lights go out. And that's stone cold. Unexpected entrance here from Austin. Clearly have some unfinished business with Will Ospreay. As Tribal Chief roll up here, trying to steal it. One. Gets the one count. Ospreay out quite quickly from that pin. Roman now stepping up, battling with Ospreay, just piling on the damage, but Ospreay tries to get through over the top, but he's caught into the guillotine. Roman trying to put him away. Cannot do so just yet. Ospreay now caught, neck breaker. Out from Roman. Ospreay firing through, phenomenal forearm connects. Drops the tribal chief and he throws up the X. He knows he's almost done it. Ospreay now kicking through. An atomic drop onto Roman. Roman through, leaping forearm. Connects. Sends Ospreay running. A drop down, a leapfrog, and a Superman punch follows through. The pinfall attempt, not enough. As Roman uncorking some hell for big shots, he tries to go spear. Ospreay too quick, expected it, and now hooks up Roman to double underhooks for Storm Breaker. Connecting into the pin is Ospreay, looking to take it here. A 2 count on the tribal chief. As Roman in trouble. Lined up, Ospreay. Styles clash inbound. Boom, connecting, rolls through into the pin. Looking for the win. A 2 count. A near fall. Ospreay visibly frustrated because, well, the tribal chief's staying alive, but he's in the target of a hidden blade. He ducks it. Ospreay misses and comes over, though, with Stundog Millionaire. He stops Roman's offense, not allowing him to get into this after the failure of the hidden blade. Will lines him up again. This time, trying to connect up and over, this time with a DDT. Just spikes Roman on his head. Moonsault connects from Ospreay. Up top heads the aerial assassin. Lines up with a spiral tap onto Roman Reigns. He's throwing out all the stops here, Will. And he needs to, really. Because Roman is one heck of a beast. Big boot puts down Ospreay, and I think Ospreay might be going night-night. Guillotine locked in again. A rope break saves Ospreay. As Roman Reigns continues to strike, continues to wear down the aerial assassin. Opts for the pin here. 1, 2, no near fall. Reigns hasn't done enough just yet. Big match, Will. The Billy Goat's still in it. We saw this before. Ospreay fights out of the grasp of Roman, not allowing whatever he had planned for a running Ospreay. The X is thrown up again. Will lines up Roman. Roman not going to allow it. Pushes away Ospreay through with a big boot. Drops him down, and Roman charging into the corner, connects with a lariat. He drops Will, who nips up, trying to stay alive, trying to keep in this battle, but he can't if he's caught immediately. Reigns is dominant, and Reigns is sizing up Ospreay. The fist is cocked, and the Superman punch connects. Roman has Will in his sights. This time, he's looking to connect with an ooh and an ah. The spear cuts Ospreay in half. And Ospreay is down and out. But not staying down, though. He should have been out there. As Reigns cocked up a big shot. The spear should have ended it. Reigns going to send him running. May have been going spear again. Ospreay catches him. Roll up here from Will. Trying to steal it. 1, 2. No. Nearly. A fired up Will. Heads to the corner. And the shot's being called. This time, looking to connect. The hidden blade takes the head off Roman Reigns. The head of the table rolling around on the mat. But not detached from his skull just yet. Ospreay needs to do more. And this might be it. A second hidden blade inbound. The head of the table no longer needs to be acknowledged as Ospreay slays the tribal chief. Our grand finals are set. Ospreay versus The Rock. Roman heads home. No longer in this tournament. We said it last night. He makes it so far, but always falls short. And in the end, it's Ospreay, the former undisputed World Heavyweight Champion, stepping up and shutting up the Tribal Chief. One hell of a performance here by Ospreay. What the... I can't really say that this wasn't just an epic night of action so far. Because this match had it all. Reigns had his shots. He should have won. But Ospreay survived it all. Brutalized by Roman, a man that was on a mission to make it to the very end. But his head taken clean off by a couple of hidden blades. End the night for him. That shot right there. Just pure back of the temple connection.
Here is your winner, Will Ospreay.
And Ospreay, he's into the grand finals. He now goes toe-to-toe with The Rock. As we mentioned, we're going to a quick break before we have our finals. We'll see you then. Because I need... oh God, I need everything. Oh man. Welcome back. Breaks now over. I'm ready for our grand finals. But before we get into them, there's a couple of things that I need to mention. First off, starting next week, the prime time and breakdown drafts will be taking place. Simply put, we're splitting the rosters in half. IPW is going to have a primetime and breakdown roster. Now, you're probably wondering, what does that mean for the championships? Well, funny you asked that. The winner of the showdown for the men and the women will receive the top belts in IPW. In the women's division, it will be the ruby belt and the emerald belt for the men's division. So, without further ado, it's time to look at our gold versus teal battle in the women's division. It is Io Sky, it is Liv Morgan. The winner takes home the ruby belt in an epic clash of epic proportions. Strap on in as we get into our co-main event for the showdown. Let's do this. As we welcome to New York, New York, Liv Morgan once again.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the prestigious World Championship. Making her way to the ring, representing the Judgment Day from Elmwood Park, New Jersey, Liv Morgan.
A ruby attire for potentially the inaugural ruby champion, Liv Morgan, wearing red and potentially will be seeing red during this matchup, as she has some very unfinished business with Io Sky as the Wub Wubs begin once again. We welcome Io into the arena.
And her opponent, representing Damage Control from Tokyo, Japan, Io Sky.
Interestingly enough, both women wearing red in their attire. Perhaps they were aware of what was at stake all along. As we ready ourselves for this, our women's main event. Sky and Liv never really stepped foot into the same IPW ring. But in real life, obviously, a lot of storied history between them two. As Io Sky took the belt away from Liv, and now still holds it. As we ready ourselves for the main event, the title. Your first look at it. The side plate's empty. As we're looking for an inaugural champion, let's toss it to the ring. Where the belt lofted into the air. There you see it. The rubiness of the red belt on display as Io and Morgan size up for our main event, and we are off to the races. A referee for this main event, our big man Gregathy, wearing the ruby shoes as he does, not Gregathy, Kevin wearing the ruby shoes for this one. As Liv taking control early on into this one. And this is an interesting match, both realistically on the small side, and their games similarly align up. I mean, Liv has a bit more explosivity with her offense, less high risk, high reward. But Io, we know, we've seen her utilize her maneuvers effectively arguably now I would say favorite to win it all. Purely just on the fact she took down the undisputed Women's World Champion from this matchup. And you're probably wondering, how is the draft going to work? So, Primetime is going to be keeping Fallon Henley, the undisputed Women's World Champion. And the Ruby belt's going to Breakdown. From there, we're going to be crowning new divisional champions, as the television championship will be going to stay on Primetime. Basically, all the current belts, bar the mixed tag, is going to stay on Primetime. The mixed tag's interesting. It's going to be split across the two brands. So, matchups are going to be very much up in the air, undetermined as to who will be facing for that belt. The tag team gold is also probably going to stay across both brands. It just keeps that division interesting. But the main belts, we're going to see, obviously, the Emerald and the Ruby heading to Breakdown. So the winner of this women's matchup and then the men's one after this one in our main event will be on Breakdown. The television championships will stay on Primetime, so you're still getting Natalya and Randy Orton on a Tuesday/Monday night. But yeah, it's also going to be interesting because there is no graphic for it, but we are going to be seeing in a few weeks' time, if I check my calendar correctly, August the 3rd, we are going to be getting Summer Lovin'. Our next live event, where I believe we will get potentially some championship crowning there. All the belts will be on the line across that show as Io locking in the Koji clutch. It's in deep. Our referee getting a good look at it. Hoping for a tap there from Liv, maybe. But Liv, back to a vertical base. Lining up Io. What could she be looking for here? As obviously Io busted open during her match with Henley. That's a nice Shining Wizard. Blood's been cleaned up across every woman, every combatant. The wounds have been healed. That's also come in that little break that we gave him. As our teal and gold divisions collide here in our co-main event, the co-breaker through from Liv. She won her division with that maneuver. Looking for the win. Only getting the 2. Frustration setting in though. As Morgan pulls up Io, hooks her up with Oblivion. And this could be the beginning of the end as Liv sends Io down. But not out of this one. Morgan in control. Io fighting back though. Shots being traded. And Io Sky is potentially setting up to end Liv Morgan's night. A kick to the knee. Up and over. It's a roll-up attempt. Io trying to steal it. 1, 2. And a kick out in time. Morgan sending Io to the outside. Just stunning her across that top rope. This could be not the right way to win this. Countouts don't win you the belt. Morgan driving Io on the outside into the flooring. That minimal padded floor. Just so much body crashing into it. Could have been potently dangerous. Morgan in control. Looking to win her first IPW championship. Both of these women looking for their first belt. Only one man in this tournament actually has held a championship in IPW still in this. That is Will Ospreay, who is in the main event. The pinfall attempt here from Liv. Kick out in time for Io. Both stars giving it their all. The Sky crawls to her feet. Liv meets her on the apron, but the punch is intercepted. Io trying to grab a hold of her. Avoids the shot. A kick to knee. And again, Io trying to just steal it. A roll-up attempt. The mousetrap gets her too. Io nearly stealing the victory. Liv, though, back at it. Irish whip sending Io running into that dropkick. And Morgan, no help needed this time. Hooks Io up. Oblivion is hit. Morgan looking to win it all. But no. Io somehow still kicking, screaming, staying in it. Knows what's at stake. She wants to win. Can she get it done? The punch caught. Io a kick to the knee. And the spinning heel kick to the side of Liv's face. Liv crawls to the corner. It's a bad place to be against Io, as we've seen her do some incredible things from there. But Io has Liv where she wants her. A kick and the code breaker. Morgan connecting with that incredible maneuver. Io caught off guard. And our first ever Ruby champion is crowned as Liv Morgan takes home the gold. An incredible performance by these two. And I have to say it, Liv, we've seen her just grow as a star in IPW. Her run in Locked In was just phenomenal. It earned her a spot in this tournament. And that spot was well deserved. Winning the Gold League in dominant fashion. And now winning the Ruby belt to match the Ruby attire. The Revenge Tour is complete. As we crown our first ever Ruby champion for Breakdown. Stories have been made through the Showdown. Every step of the way has been phenomenal in the women's division. It's been close to the very end. But Liv Morgan stands tall, victorious.
Here is your winner, and the new prestigious World Champion, Liv Morgan.
There you see it, the belt in her hand. Victory earned and deserved. A great performance by her. She shimmies away to the celebration. Congratulations once again to Liv Morgan. Taking home a championship victory. But the night is still not over. One more champion will be crowned. It's a battle of the pink and green divisions for the Emerald Belt. The lights change. The atmosphere changes as well. It's gonna be the most electrifying man versus the aerial assassin. Winner take all. And a spot on Thursday nights. on the line. Who's going to walk out of New York, New York? Emerald Champion. Let's find out right about now. Out first, it's the Aerial Assassin.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the prestigious World Championship. Making his way to the ring from England, weighing in at 220 pounds, Will Oxley.
Tonight, Will has already beaten one Samoan head of the bloodline. Tonight, well, now he goes up against the other. The cleaner was not enough to put away the final boss. Can Ospreay do it? He had to put in some hefty offense against Roman Reigns. But this is a different kettle of fish. The People's Champ got his revenge yesterday. He then swept the floor with the cleaner. And now he's here to shut down the high-flying offense of the Aerial Assassin as The Rock looks confident. Again, the slow walk of a final boss. Just takes his time. No threat needed to be shown.
And his opponent from Miami, Florida, weighing in at 265 pounds, The Rock!
Slow pace. The style. The pizzazz of The Rock. The aura fills the arena when he's here. And you know Will probably feeling a ton of nerves that The Rock, well, because probably has goosebumps on his arms, but when it's game time, the final boss puts up a hell of a display. Now, what's interesting is The Rock looking to become the inaugural Emerald Champion, whereas Ospreay looking to become a two-time heavyweight champ in IPW. Obviously, winning the Undisputed World Heavyweight Championship that's now going to Primetime. He could be the first and inaugural two-championship holder in IPW. And that has some high accolades to go alongside it. We won't know until, well, this match is over where the belt lies. But one thing's for sure. We're gonna get an absolute war. There you see it. The Emerald Belt. Looking for a new home. A new holder. As now it's alofted by a referee Miss Kim for this one. And we're underway with our main event, and The Rock's out the gates quick. Trying to hit some stomps but misses. Instead, he goes for a fist and a couple of strikes as they tie them up. They tie up here, I should say. The Rock taking waist control. Ospreay. Nice arm drag takedown. Goes to the side headlock position in side mount. The Rock trying to apply a headlock. Kind of a bit tight. Not even getting the head of Ospreay. So Ospreay quickly out the gate. Just taking the arm. Applying pressure. STO here from Will. Both men trading positions. Collar and elbow once more. Arm taken here by The Rock. Wrenching on Ospreay. Applying more pressure as he drags Ospreay down to a knee. And it's a hell of a lot of pressure being exerted here. Ospreay reverses it, takes now the arm of The Rock again. And this is what Ospreay needs to do, is wear down The Rock. Just put this hold in deep. Keep Dwayne at bay. Not allow that arm to be a weapon that we know The Rock utilizes. The Rock out of the hold, but nip up here from Ospreay as he heads to apron. Springboard. Misses with the forearm, just lands on the knee of The Rock, who's now capitalizing. Looking for a roll-up. Trying to steal it. Quick kick out by Will. But they tie up once again. Ospreay overpowering The Rock into the corner. Clean break. And the combo now started by Ospreay. Missing with the moonsault. Shooting star press there is Will. As The Rock through. Comes back into a combo. Ospreay connecting. Hooks up The Rock. Gutbuster. And Ospreay feeling himself here. Dominant in the early goings. Has The Rock in trouble. Drags him to the corner, but the referee getting in the way. Not going to be able to put him in the corner. The Rock's going to capitalize on that. Nice suplex. Puts down Ospreay. Just stomping away at will. So much on the line in this matchup. And the stories are there from the early goings. Ospreay looking to do a two-peat. Join the likes of Samoa Joe. And Shawn Michaels as a two-time champion. The hidden blade comes through there. That was from out nowhere. Will connecting and into the pin he goes. A 2 count. And The Rock rolls that shoulder nonchalantly. Surviving on pure instinct maybe is The Rock. He suffered a lot of punishment against the cleaner. A lot of knees connecting to the skull. Concussive knees, I should say. Maybe they're feeling the effects on The Rock now. Dwayne, we know, has such potent offense. He can take it to anyone, but Ospreay currently is holding on really well against The Rock. He's lined him up. The Rock unloading a barrage of shots. Putting down Ospreay, who's quickly back to a vertical base. A kick, and now takes the arm. There, he's applying pressure to that right arm of The Rock, potentially knowing that is Dwayne's main weapon for launching that rock bottom. Ospreay quick and calculated. Nice missile drop kick from the springboard. as he lines up The Rock again. Calling his shot. Hooks him up. Potentially thinking Styles Clash, and indeed it is. Connecting a move felt by The Rock many times, I think. Actually, no, the first time, because AJ was in... Was AJ in the same division? Yes, he was. So yeah, The Rock's felt that move before. Ospreay tries to connect with the Hidden Blade, misses. And The Rock gonna capitalize. Takes the legs. And he is stepping through the sharpshooter applied. It's in deep. Ospreay picks the ankle. Gets back to a vertical base. It helps when you faced Kurt Angle in a match before in a technical prowess, but that is prowess at a big full on display. Ospreay smart in this one, not calling that shot for the Hidden Blade, instead just launching it at The Rock from a unsuspecting angle. It's clever, calculated offense, but that's calculated. The Rock bottom drills Ospreay into the mat. And this was what we saw from The Rock in the last outing. A finisher spam session to end the night, but Ospreay not going to feel that. Instead, has The Rock up on his shoulders. Just tossing him across that top rope. Puts The Rock in the drop zone. Ospreay looking for something more. You can see the body of Ospreay in tatters as the crossbody connects. That was such high elevation. And now maybe Ospreay sensing it's time to end it. The high-flying, speedy offense of Ospreay on display. Up and over, connects with a phenomenal forearm. Sends The Rock into the corner. Puts him up there. And I think we're getting a bit cheeky. A cheeky Nando's kick connects. And that is the precursor to the kill shot. Ospreay lines up The Rock. The Hidden Blade takes the skull of the final boss. Cut into pieces. A new champion's crowned. The first ever two-division champion in IPW. Will Ospreay takes it home here against The Rock. That Hidden Blade there set the tone. From out of nowhere, he just takes the skull of The Rock. Ends his night. As the body of The Rock just jittering in these replays. Phenomenal offense, as we say here, by Ospreay. He didn't really give The Rock a chance. Only one rock bottom could have been executed. And that was that. The Rock had nothing. Shut down and punished. But a great matchup nonetheless. I felt that maybe the finisher spam was coming there, but no. The Rock shut down. And all it took was this, the final kill shot. The Hidden Blade targeted to the back of the head. The Rock pinned and beaten.
Here is your winner, and the new prestigious world champion, Will Oxley.
A phenomenal performance by Ospreay to end out the Showdown. A full 28 days of action, culminating in victory. Two massive main events, 2 new champions in IPW, and the rest of the rosters yet to be decided. How it's going to happen is pretty simple. The next 2 weeks of IPW action on Breakdown and Primetime will determine rosters. And like it or not, we're going to be seeing new champions crowned as well as we ready ourselves for that. I'm just honestly stoked with how the show has gone. But thank you very much for joining me for this one. I do hope you've enjoyed IPW for this June and now July shows. I'm taking a break week after 3-4 weeks of pure action. In that break week, I will be preparing for you the draft stuff, so hopefully you enjoy that. And then we are on the road to Summer Lovin'. Hello, it's me for the final time for a good week. I hope you've enjoyed it. Simple as that. It's been one hell of a run. I'm now gonna just sort the rosters for you guys, because I can start to work on it. But yes, thanks for joining me. Hope you've enjoyed the show. I will be seeing you soon for the next episode of Primetime and Breakdown, which, God, it feels weird to be saying them instead of Road to Showdown.